Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Technology Show, where our experts translate geek into regular speak. How do you feel about mixed reality versus virtual reality? And what are your thoughts? Gadgets or games? And where exactly are you on the battlefield of Windows versus Apple? Stay tuned for our special geek guests. And now, it's over to our Techsperts.
It is the Technology Show where we translate geek
into regular speak.
And we're half asleep.
Yeah, that's true.
So for those of you that listened to last week's show, you would know that Arya was in Indonesia and he purposely flew the red eye to get back to us in time today. Literally. I mean, you've literally come from the airport.
I did stop by home to take a quick cleanup, but I wanted to come fresh.
All right, so obviously you made it through customs without the cavity search. I did try and arrange it for you, but
no.
Okay.
They let me through.
Well, welcome back.
Yep.
Well, you can't talk weather because you've been in a pressurized container for 35,000 feet for 8 hours or 6 hours or whatever.
It's true, although I am curious about these supposed sandstorms that were...
It was ridiculous. Not supposed. It was ridiculous. We actually got a warning from the school that they were going to cancel extramurals. That's how bad the sandstorm was. That was Thursday, I think.
They would cancel flights and all kinds of stuff.
It came, I don't know, I'm assuming it came from somewhere inland. But it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the winds, I was on my bike in the morning, my motorbike, not a bicycle. I couldn't turn I couldn't make a right turn. I tried, and I couldn't lean my bike over enough. It made me go straight. Strong. Yeah,
it looked like a scene from the movie Dune or something.
Yeah, luckily I wasn't caught in the sand. This was like the wind before the sand, and I don't know the names of the road. I know the one is Bronte Road, and I was trying to turn. It's got like multiple roads. I'll end up having to go straight. I could not lean my bike in. That's how strong the wind was.
Wow.
So, yeah. Anyway, so that was our weather app for Thursday.
That's it.
But yeah, welcome back, man.
Thank you.
App of the week. I should have probably told you about this while you were sitting at 35,000 feet. And I apologize to everyone because I'm now addicted. Now, it's not often I have a game as an app, but it's getting to that time of the year where, we're kicking back a little bit and starting to chillax. So it's called Pin Out. It's a pinball game. You said you could find it on Android, so it's iOS and Android?
It is.
Okay. Now, just a quick caveat before we talk about the app itself. In-app advertising, it works. That's where I saw it. I had an interstitial. So for those of you, an interstitial is when it takes over the whole screen. Like you have to close down the ad. It's not just like a little banner at the bottom. And I saw this, and I love pinball. I've always loved pinball. And I saw this thing going, and... basically, the app is a never-ender, so it's a platform. It just goes and goes and goes as long as you can go, and you have to hit the ball in certain channels to get extra time. You run out of time, your game ends. It's got cool music, very what's the right word for the color? Neon. It's got very neon, futuristic Tron. In fact, Tron. I think that's...
Tron-y purple.
Yeah. I've wasted too much time on this game. It's literally, it plays vertically, so you're playing into the table and away at like 30, 40 degrees. And if you keep, I think I played 15 minutes without dying, which is a long time.
Yeah.
And it's, so UI UX for me was great. I was engaged. I actually had earbuds in, so the sound was like there. I was locked in. Yeah, so Pin Out, this time of the year, game wasting technology. Give it a whirl.
Yeah, I think my favorite part, to be honest, I couldn't really get into the game. I think that if you like pinball and you're into pinball, it's about the accuracy of when you pull the trigger and hit the ball and the angle of where you hit it. And this game is clearly about that and the precision that you play. And if you play more, you obviously get better.
Yeah.
You do... as Brett said, you have to hit a certain area. They'll give you the extended time, and there's different ramps and different little fun things. The physics in the game are pretty fun. So, they're accurate. So you hit the ball. My favorite part is when you start the game and there's this kind of flickery, mediocre neon sign.
That's cool, but did you see the in-game game? So there's a loss
no,
poss-
I didn't
So you didn't get
far.
that high.
Yeah,
So
no.
in a traditional pinball, when not traditional, sorry, because a traditional were just tables. When the more modern machines started coming out, there's screens where the score is,
With the game at the top.
and there's a game at
yeah,
the top.
Yeah.
So-
like there's a Mario one I remember.
Correct.
Yeah.
So all the modern classic pinball machines have that. The scoreboard turns into a game. This does the same thing. It's a car, and you have to move the car left and right to dodge cars coming at you.
Right.
I got up to like 42 cars before I crashed as well. And then there's another one so as you progress up, they give you more skills, and the things change, like an extra ball or extra time. You can choose between freezing time or freezing flips, so the flips don't count.
Yeah.
That was, as you said, you got to like pinball. If you don't like pinball, this is, it's yawn. If you do, and you're looking to, I don't know, sit on the train or something and waste time, best time waster I can think of.
That's it.
Pin out. Boom.
We're at that time again. It's the XR section, X-rated.
Extended reality.
Yep.
I love that. Who
It's
was it X-rated? It was
Section
Angela.
X,
Hey?
X-rated. I don't even think that there is X-rated anymore with internet and porn and stuff.
It's just
It's
porn.
just there. Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Crazy. Yeah. Nuts.
It's just scary how you can get access to it, man.
Weird.
Where are we going to swing first? Oh, I did it.
VR.
VR.
Swing in the V direction.
And a note from our producer.
We are a technology show.
Yeah.
Let's just make that
You're
clear.
very clear.
Yeah.
I've got one on VR. There's a company called super.com. They are putting up a $50 million grant for developers, and they've done the whole thing with Epic Games' Unreal Engine. So Epic Games are Fortnite, that's their big thing, but they were far more important than Fortnite with Unreal, because I think every decent game developer's been building on Unreal for ages. They will provide grants up to and over $1 million. So they've got $50 million they're going to throw at it, and they're prepared to even go as high as $1 million per grant. So, I mean, we could get 50 really amazing products coming out of this, coupled with the Unreal Engine. This is obviously American, but yeah, so that was pretty exciting.
This is a bit of a random one. We've spoken about Facebook doing location-based virtual reality. So, debuting in Philadelphia, the Brooklyn Bridge Park virtual reality experience. Now, this should be pretty cool because it's built actually on location. It has piers, and it's guided by apparently some Huffy-Duffy landscape architect, Michael van Valkenburg.
Say that again.
Michael van Valkenburg. Yeah, architects, go figure. But no, you know what? I think that with hardware,
where about is that in? I mean, I kind of know Brooklyn, but where are they doing this?
When is the Brooklyn Bridge? It's in Philadelphia.
Oh,
In Philly, yeah. Like they're launching
Not Brooklyn Bridge as in
the Brooklyn Bridge Park experience from Brooklyn, New York is launching in
Okay,
Philadelphia.
because that's just confused. Like, why wouldn't you
telling
just
you
go?
exactly
Why
when
wouldn't you
to
just go
do
to
it
Brooklyn
there.
Park?
Yeah.
Okay, no. That's
Yeah.
look for people that don't know. Philly's only about an hour away on the train, hour 20, and it's really worth going down there. It's a great city. So if they can bring some of the New York culture down into that, okay. So it's the Brooklyn Bridge experience in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Is that now? Is that on? Or is it being done still?
This is a couple weeks ago, so I think that it's up and running. If you're in Philly, go take a look for it. Yeah.
Nice to. Yeah, that's definitely something I would do. I don't have any more VR. I literally only had one. It was a bit of a dry week for me. I'm going to swing to AR because it kind of comes off the back of what I just mentioned now with Super and their fund. So Snap are targeting AR creators. So they're sticking to, this is something I actually have to respect them for. We've sat here a few times and gone, why are you going in that space, Company X? That's not where you are. That's not where you belong. Stay where you are. Stay what you do. Snap's done that. They've
stayed.
always done their filters, which is AR.
Yeah.
Now they're targeting AR creators to help connect brands that want to get into the AR space, and obviously through the Snap platform. I didn't see any mention of money, but I don't think they're dry. So if you had to go to them and say, I've got this cool idea and they think it's cool, I'm sure they'd fund it if they're making the effort to find them. Yeah. Mind you, they're bleeding a bit, aren't they? Isn't
They're
there a
hurting.
couple of wobbles on snaps? So this could be a last play for them.
Big wobbles. I think Snap's gone through quite a bit of cash. They've had some serious shakeups in their management, but I think the biggest one is just that they lost so much steam and attractiveness to their largest constituent audience. The likes of, I would just say, TikTok, taking it all over.
Cade is all over. I mean, you called TikTok about 5 months ago. It was a long time ago.
He's all
He
over it.
is TikToking. He's actually driving me mad. But not just him, right? It's the kids.
Yeah.
And then here's the funniest thing. They jump on WhatsApp or iMessage or whatever to tell each other they've put a new TikTok up. Like surely if you're living on the platform, it's just going to ping you and tell you, but they need to tell people. But he's having big fun with it. But that's not really AR, though. It shouldn't have eaten Snap. Mind you, it eats their audience. It takes the traction away, I suppose. So
It has AR filters.
yeah.
You can put stuff over your face.
I do remember, though, you called that 4 or 5 months, man. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And it's now gone mad here. The kids have just gone dilly.
Every country I've gone to, it's the fastest growing app.
Sure.
Yeah.
Huh.
Snap.
So-
Learn. Evolve.
I got to kind of bring this up, man. You had a post on LinkedIn yesterday or day before, whatever it was, I don't know. And I thought it was really good. But David Francis kind of took you on. And from there, it kind of went on and on and on. If you send me the link to the post, I don't know if LinkedIn post can be shared public. I see you didn't actually directly reply, but what happened there? I thought your article was good. So just take us through the why you wrote what you wrote and what David said. And David, I'm not smashing you here where you can't defend yourself, mate. I'm going to tag you on this episode, and this is an invite to come here and have a chat.
So very simply, there is a casino, I believe, in Hong Kong that is using line characters, which are a chat app. They've got characters, and they were designing inside
Just
of the
quickly,
place.
Line, because Line is like a WhatsApp, like a voice VoIP type
WhatsApp,
thing.
Yeah, from I think Korea or Japan,
Okay.
and so it's quite popular. And so they were using it to, just put up stuff, designs to make the lobby look more lively, I suppose. So I was just commenting with my mother about AR and saying, just comment about it, if it requires an app and it's going to be one-off use, you've got to have something really amazing there, or there's got to be a reason to use it.
I agree 100%. And we've spoken about this,
yeah.
not even just AR,
Yeah.
any app.
And just we had a little chat about, the fact that you're limited to the window of your phone, unless you're going to hold it up to your eyes and look around. You're only going to see a pocket of augmented experience, and the point is that when we get to either, better, faster phones using potentially 5G to deliver streaming content and or eyewear, you are going to have ubiquitous AR everywhere. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's just right now,
That's what
not
we have.
quite the time. This is what we're stuck with. And so I got a new one torn.
Yeah, look, as I said, it's not fair. We're sitting with microphones and an audience.
Yep.
So, David, we know you know your stuff. I see you've changed your profile picture from your Google Glass to your Magic Leaps. Please bring them with. I haven't seen a set in the flesh, but I'd love to know why you felt that it was wrong. And I'm very happy to learn.
Totally.
But I did see you got a new one on there. It was an interesting debate.
It was pretty funny.
It was a mass debate.
It was a mass debate. Wow.
We had you got more?
I do one AR.
Yeah.
Just speaking of eyewear, it's a company called North, which has unveiled its first product called Focals.
Spelled funny, I'm sure.
No,
F-O-K?
Focals.
Oh, wow.
Focals.
Well done, North.
And it supposedly puts a holographic display, in front of you. And so what you're supposedly seeing is basically what you'd see on your wearable, the Fitbit style wearable, very basic phone notifications, but they are
Just like hovering.
in front of you. And so
Is that a fad? What would you say? I mean, Is it because we're not?
There's a couple of phones that do this. I think it's more. There's a lot of design behind the actual frames and how they look, the lightness of them.
Which is important.
They look decent. Do we need to be interrupted 24 hours a day? Can we choose when our interruptions are going to interrupt us? And I think that's part of the problem with the whole AR perspective.
There's actually a pair of glasses have come out that now black screens out. I think we did mention the IRLs, whatever. Remember, for that reason, is that we have too much shit coming at us the whole time.
Totally.
It will block any screen that comes into play.
And I think that's important to continue talking about, because do we need, like you've got your morning routine here, and that's meant to like actually block you from getting interrupted from the things you do. The morning routine that you usually do every day, right? I have one too. So, and we do that because we want to.
Yeah.
First thing I do on my phone is I look at the messages from the night before. That's part of my morning routine.
I'm the same.
And I don't think that's necessarily the healthiest thing to do.
No. Blue screen at night.
Yeah.
I'm done on XR. You done?
No, that's about it.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Well, we're wrapped.
Going to mix it up this week. We don't have a screens to review, so let's go straight into tech news.
With a Z.
With a Z.
Nice.
Yep.
There's lots of news that I've come across in this last week. In fact, yesterday I was reading that the mighty Bitcoin dropped below 3,500.
It did.
As in dollars.
Yeah.
There must have been a lot of sad people in this last week or so, and it's just been going down and down and down. So here's the question: has the cryptocurrency bubble love affair ended? Is that the sign, or is it just Bitcoin's irrelevant?
I think that the hacking that's happened and just the fact that it's unstable and that it hasn't emerged as a currency per se. Like, you can buy stuff with it in limited places, including Sydney, right? There are a couple of cash, ATM machines where you can take money out. However, when the value was at 16, 18 grand,
nearly 20,
like nearly 20 grand,
in
right?
fact, I think it did break 20.
Yeah, and it drops down below 3.5.
Yeah, you got a problem.
Yeah, so you can't have. It's like if the Australian dollar went from like $1 to 75 cents down to like 15 cents.
Yeah,
like you just can't have a currency that runs like that. So
it sounds like the Italian lira,
or whatever they use in Greece. But like, no, I don't know. I think that there are a few problems with the whole sort of blockchain and cryptocurrency. The speed of transaction. We were having a conversation over in Indo. Visa and MasterCard take in the milliseconds, and it takes like 8 seconds to do a transaction or something, and that just doesn't fly.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I bought Bitcoins along the journey, but it's one of those, like, I bought them just so I could say I did. And you and I have done deals in Ethereum.
Yeah.
Just so we could say we did.
Yeah.
Did we make money? No. Was it a pain in the ass? Yes.
Yes.
But I think what's nice about it's the same as any tech. We got to play with it first, and then whatever comes afterwards, we can say, like, well, that's because of Bitcoin or Ethereum or, what you got.
There's a whole bunch of different news that's out there. I thought one thing that was very interesting was that apparently there's kind of a big problem with the Human Genome Project. And for those that are not really familiar with that, they're going out and trying to map the human genome, which is basically the break down the DNA of all humankind, say man and women and everything else. But the problem was that they had mapped apparently 70% of the human genome was to one African American person. And so they were trying to compare other DNA back to that person. And it was an improper comparison, because you're not comparing against the entire humankind. You're comparing against a single individual. The other problem was that there were some, I guess, pairs of genomes or whatever that had been lost. So you had this, apparently the complete genome was actually incomplete. And so there's these errors here and there. It's kind of like...
And how many billions have they spent on this to get to that point?
Look, it's similar to, the head of Interpol, a Chinese fellow going missing in China. And then, kind of a letter being sent from China, apparently from him, saying that I resigned from my position, and that letter not even being signed, and the world not even caring.
Yeah.
Right? Like Interpol being huge, and it's like, ho-hum. So world's a bit weird.
It's
We're worried
a bit
about
weird, man.
other important stuff. But, that was a bit of news.
Yeah, that's quite scary. Well, you'll never hear me bash Apple, but I'm about to.
Oh, my.
And I'm going to go, what the Apple is the heading that I've written down here. They're doing so bad share-wise and performance-wise that they're actually talking about starting to make the X or 10 again. So we've got the 10S, the 10S Max, and the XR or 10R.
Yep.
And all three of them aren't performing close to where they're supposed to be performing. So now they're talking about bringing back the 10.
Yep.
And it all goes back because of Samsung. It's the Samsung screens. In fact, one of the guys I was reading, I follow one of the Australian journos. He writes for IT Web or something. I'll find his name. It's Sam Bread or something like that, but I will find his name and I'll tag it and give him the credit for it. But he was even suggesting that Apple might privatize. And the reason why they would need to privatize in the next few years, because of their cash reserves and their price going down, this would be the time. And maybe they're even causing the price to go down so that their cash reserves will cover what they need to and they privatize.
I don't know. I think part of the problem is that we've reached that critical mass of, everyone has enough handsets. People, there are the Apple fans that are willing to drop $1,500 on a handset, up to $2,000, right? However, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I've even said that when this new one came out.
Yeah. And
I think, hats off to Optus. They realized that as well. And they've subsidized the phone heavily.
Yep.
And for them, it was more about locking. They've actually bought a reduction in churn. They've said, here's a $1,500 phone for $15 a month. That's effectively what it works out to, which over 2 years, they're losing money. But they're locking you in for 2 years.
Yep.
So that way, whatever does happen and when it stabilizes what you choose to do next, your loyalty will lie with them. And that's obviously the thinking. The concern for me, though, is that, has the mighty Apple actually run out of runway? Is that it now? So focus back on your other hardware, like your MacBooks. And in fact, saying that, the new MacBook Air that they've launched and the new Mac Mini in the market that they're going after with it, that's probably is the strategy. There's as exactly what you've just said. We've reached saturation point. Every single person has a phone. Phones are lasting longer than they need to last, so you don't need to buy them again and again. And the Android phones have got the notch. So you get a phone that looks like an iPhone, and it costs a third of what an iPhone costs.
It's speaking exactly of that, and I know that sitting next to my wife Marcia and watching her use the Alcatel V5,
yeah.
Screen is beautiful. It's nearly edge to edge. That notch is small, and it really makes a difference. I'm looking at my Note 8 and looking at the screen there, and her screen's bigger.
Not only that, you mentioned about the notch the other day. I think it's Huawei. I'm not sure, but they've got one now with just a dot.
The pinpoint, yeah.
So they've got one with a notch.
Yep.
And then they've got the bigger one with just a pinpoint. Okay, so without the extra cameras, you can't get facial ID in that. But not everyone wants facial recognition.
No.
So if you want an edge-to-edge screen with a small little dot, and I guarantee Samsung will bring one out without a dot. The camera will somehow be, well, I don't know, there'll be a translucent area or whatever. I don't know, we'll see.
It's S10.
But it's coming.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to see no notch.
So on the flip side, and this is, I consider this tech news, you can get a Telstra Lite prepaid mobile phone at Woolworths for $9.
You see. But that's not Android though. That's smart.
No, it's
probably like an Alcatel Smart or something.
Really feature phone. It has an MP3 player. You can listen to FM radio. It has Bluetooth 2.1. So you can connect
$9.
headset.
And it's like 2 coffees.
$9.
Yeah. So that's the burner phone mentality, right?
That's just ridiculous. Yeah. But I mean, still,
But okay, so this time next year, you'll get an Android phone for $9.
Yeah.
It's good because the technology becomes defunct on the factory floor, so they just spin them out. It's
That's
easier
right.
than tooling down to just tool out Androids. Look, I can't bash Apple without bashing Microsoft. I have to. It's just otherwise I'm not balanced.
Bring it.
So after nearly 18 hours of outage on Azure, that's their cloud,
Yeah.
they did what they do well. The only way to fix it was Control-Alt-Delete, reboot.
Yeah.
So people couldn't access their cloud. And it was like nearly a day. And so let's just look at that. When you've sat and gone, move your shit into the cloud's awesome. It's accessible everywhere. And then you turn people off for a day. That's a problem.
What do you do?
But the only way they could resolve it was to reboot.
Yep.
So, when Windows 11 comes out, are we going to get that Control-Alt-Delete button shining in different colors again so we can do the reboot?
Well, Windows 10 has also had, they've had to stop the upgrade. So,
That was security, wasn't it? It was big.
This is the third
backdoors.
time.
Yeah.
So the first time they stopped it because it was causing files to be deleted. The second time was security. The third time was just system malfunction. So
where are we going with this? Because
God.
I've bashed Apple on some of the updates as well. Are they just spitting the stuff out too quickly and quality is not important anymore because they've taken the stance of, well, you don't have a choice?
I mean,
let's be honest. Linux hasn't taken off in mainstream. There's diehard people and coders and that they'll use it, but no one went out and bought a Linux machine.
Yeah.
They just didn't do that. Does that mean Apple and Microsoft have become complacent and they just spit it out?
They can't. Look at every single major tech company that's producing hardware right now, and of the ones that are out there, Microsoft is having issues. Apple's having issues. Oculus under Facebook is having issues.
Anything under Facebook, Mr. Zuckerberg
right
is going to
now,
have issues.
That's a whole other ball of kittens. But I'm going to change gears.
Okay, change gears.
There was a titanium 3D printed wheel.
Hold on.
For cars.
Titanium 3D print. So they've made liquid titanium to print.
They used titanium sand.
Yeah.
And then they liquefied that and then melted it into the shape and then knocked off the extra bits and had a single piece of kit.
Because titanium is like one of the strongest metals. But
Exactly.
if you're 3D printing it, does that not reduce its, what's the right word, cohesion? I don't know. I'm not a metallurgist. Metallurgist.
From what I understand is...
Oh, wow. So Aria's showing me, wow.
Yeah.
You're going to have to send that picture. In fact, that has to... Wow.
Yeah, it's super...
I'm a petrol head, and those are mags that I would put on my car.
Super sexy. But they... so they apparently they melt... They've got the titanium sand, then they electrify it, and that then liquefies it, and then it's put into the shape of the wheel.
Every bogan out there in the very far west and inland is going to want mags like that. It's just...
No, obviously it's a prototype, but it's kind of saying this is the future of where we're going because it just saves so much material.
Sure. And output. There's no, what do you call it? No exhaust fumes from the smelters.
Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So
that is a beautiful mag wheel.
Yeah, that was.
Is it as strong?
Nice.
Have they tested it? Is there an article about it, or is it just they've just done the prototype to see if they could?
I think it's with GE Additive's AdWorks team.
Okay. Well, these are the guys that make our big jet engines. If it's not a Rolls-Royce, it's a GE. So, the guys do know what they're doing. Yeah,
I think it's more of a look at to see what is possible as opposed to, it's coming up. It's not definitely not production ready, but it's it's one of those.
3D printed food, 3D printed mags. We've looked at medical before.
Oh, yeah.
It's exciting, man. I'm just looking at, I don't have anything as awesome as a 3D printed titanium hub, but I know you'll appreciate this, and I have mentioned this before. Not Google, let's start with Apple. So when iOS 12 came out, we got an app called Shortcuts. So it's almost like an if this, then that. You can create these little widget shortcuts, which I know Android's had for years.
Yep.
So because you can get Assistant, which is Google Assistant on your iPhone, they've did the update in time so that it can be shortcut ready because you can choose which apps go in. So now you can have a shortcut on your iPhone that asks Siri to open your Google Assistant for you. Now I always do that.
Right.
I go, hey Siri, open Google, and then I have to touch the microphone. Now I can open my assistant, so I don't have to touch anything. I can carry on talking, which I just thought, I can't believe that Apple allowed that. And I love the balls that Google has that they actually got that right. It'll be very interesting to see, though, if that gets shut down in iOS 12.2 or whatever the next update is. But for now, I've created a shortcut that says, I'm not going to say because my phone's going to start going. But so I don't have to actually touch anything. I can be 100% hand-free and get Google to do all my heavy lifting for me. So, yeah.
I will throw... I've got a lot of other news.
Oh, no, I've also... No, we've got time.
I found very interesting, in Japan, they're building a life-size Gundam statue that actually moves.
Gundam is the cartoon thingy,
the big robot. It's like the predecessor to Transformers. So they're those kind of warrior suits. So they don't transform into anything.
That's like the Pacific Rim movie. Those were Gundam bots.
Yep. So it's for the Tokyo Games in 2020, and it's life-size statue to celebrate the 40th anniversary.
But it moves.
Yeah, it doesn't walk around and stuff. I think it moves, like the arms will move and kind of some joints and stuff. But yeah. Okay. Fairly cool.
Well, I don't have anything exciting of moving statues, but I do have something about Canberra or ACT. So ACT very quietly have been delivering using drones. And it's Alphabet's project, the guys that own Google. So they've been delivering a payload of up to 1.5 kgs, medicines, food. Yeah, 1.5 kgs is a small package, so you can deliver anything you want. Apparently they do have pilots that are watching, but they're autonomous. So the drone gets programmed, it picks its payload. When the drone arrives, it doesn't land, it drops it down on a string like a rope.
Yep.
You come outside, you get it, and then it goes again. And it sounds like they're going to ramp up. They're talking about warehouses, and you'll have almost like a drop shipping environment that they'll be able to use the drone service. So the question is, does this mean that the Civil Aviation Authority is laxing their rules? Because remember when we looked at that drone project, we weren't allowed to be within 30 meters of humans, or
it was a
couldn't
huge,
fly. There was so many rules. In fact, we had the guy on the show even talking about it. I can't think of his name right now, but maybe he can comment. I'll tag him up as well. But when you've got rural areas and you take traffic, so like this weekend, or even the day when we had the sandstorm, the traffic was ridiculous. People were just trying to move around, and visibility was low. And that if there was a car crash, and we have talked about this before, you could send an injection or whatever the drugs are that you need straight into the scene. As long as there's a doctor around there to administer it, boom, it's solved. Okay, and that sandstorm, nothing would have flown. But what I'm getting to is that we need to start looking at using drone technology. It takes the pressure off the roads.
Yeah.
And it sounds like ACT is doing it. Now, that's government, which means that if they're approving it at a, what do you call it, federal level, they're the main government is federal, right? Then hopefully we can start seeing this. But it'd be so cool. You're sitting on the beach, you're hungry, you don't want to lose your spot. Pick up the app, and next minute, like the Domino's pizza arrives, or GYG burrito comes.
Totally.
That'll be awesome.
Well, it's not tech news, but there's some Parliament guy up in Canberra that's also trying to get marijuana legalized as well for recreational use. So that the drone delivery of pizza and burritos is
so you're being sitting on the rooftop and you need a blunt, and then all of a sudden this drone comes.
Speaking of drones, I read about a window washing drone for towers that actually can carry a 200-kilogram payload.
Wow.
And so it's
that's going to be a big drone, though.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge, but it's meant to, replace
humans hanging off ropes.
Yeah, exactly.
That always freaks me out, huh? It's happened a few times. I've seen the building. This guy or this girl comes down with their headset on. They're oblivious to what they're doing. Their heads are going, and they clean the windows. That would be interesting from a danger point of view.
So the one thing with drones that people don't really talk about much is what happens if they fall out of the sky.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I just suppose, what happens if you drop a bucket filled with water off the 30th floor? When that hits the floor, it's gonna be like a cannonball. It's gonna be like the same as an asteroid. So, but you know what the difference is, and we had this chat when we talked about the first crash of a Tesla. It's like no one talks about the fact that there was 2,000 car crashes that same day
Yep.
with humans driving them.
Yep.
But one Tesla crash and it becomes news.
Yeah.
So you'll put those drones to work. They'll clean the windows. The bucket will fall, or the drone will fall out of the sky because it was on Microsoft Azure and it went down during the reboot. Which incidentally it wouldn't, because they have their own fail-safes built in when they lose their signals.
Yep.
But it will happen. It will fall out of the sky. It will kill someone. And then all of a sudden there'll be all these people with placards standing outside government going, no drones.
Yeah.
You know, it's unfortunately the thing that stays the growth of technology. What we haven't spoken about is Black Friday / Cyber Monday, which is where we are now, the weekend. So I have to actually compliment the Aussies. I didn't see anything like really mad. Like there was, I saw footage from all over the world.
Like shopping and stuff.
Yeah. Like where they weren't queuing up to bash down doors and kill people to get to a TV.
Yeah, we didn't have that in Indonesia.
So in South Africa they did. I mean, I call them the beep beep machines. There's got to be a proper name for them. You know, when you steal stuff, they have those machines. What do you call them? Anti-theft readers stuff.
Sure.
Beep beep machines. So the beep beep machines were smashed out of the ground from the people pushing into the store. You know, and there's one old guy and there's one video clip that I saw. He's not even walking, man. The crowds are like, he's almost crowd surfing because it's just that surge. I actually went into the mall here at Bondi Junction on Black Friday. It was busy. Parking wasn't an issue because I'm on a motorbike, so I park wherever I want. But there were a lot of cars in the parking lot. People were behaved.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't smashing things down. I wasn't there early when the thing opened up. But I do find that, and I don't know what came out of the States, but it's quite funny. We have Black Friday, and only in America we give thanks and spend time with people and then try and kill them the next day for a cheap TV in the store.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We definitely not dwell on it. You heard about that, the veteran that was killed in the shopping mall.
No.
And he was trying to help an old guy or something, and he was shot, and it was just like terrible.
Shot?
Yeah, shot and killed, yeah.
See, this is why I'm glad we don't have guns here.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, we can get violent here, but no one's going to bring out a 9mm and tap someone because you were trying to help someone. It's, you know.
No, definitely not.
I have to just finish off my Black Friday discussion to say that Amazon has done a U-turn as of 3 days ago.
Yes, thank you.
I knew you'd like that.
I did see that.
Yeah, because I mean, you were buying
fantastic.
stuff and getting it sent to mates or family and then getting packaged and sent across, right?
Absolutely.
But there's a reason for it. They did their research, and apparently the Aussie version is only a 1/9 of the size of the American, the main .com version.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they had to U-turn. I mean, they're losing so much business to eBay and everyone else, and all these other little stores are popping up.
Yep.
But as of 22nd, which was 4 days ago? I don't even know what the day is today. 26, yeah, 4 days ago, we can now buy on Amazon.com again. Not can, we always could. And then I think it was like 5 or 6 months ago, they stopped it for some stupid reason. It's back. So now you can buy at Amazon. However, caution, the shipping charges are quite significant because the big thing of Amazon in the States is like 90% of it is free shipping, like localized, or if you're paying negligible amounts of shipping, or they do the locker pickup thing.
And the 10% GST.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. So you're paying 10% GST plus.
Well, that's what caused it, right? That's why old Jeff got upset, was the 10% GST. I was like, well, screw that, I'm just turning it off. But I think the pressure and the tweets and the fact that they've invested in, I think it's 2 drop centers now.
Yep.
They're not getting the business.
Do you think it was Jeff?
I don't know. He's too narcissistic to actually have cleared himself. But,
yeah.
But the point that I'm making is that the consumer movement and what we as consumers want are making companies do what we need them to do.
Mm.
I mean, Amazon's not exactly a small little distributor, and they did a U-turn with only 5 months ago.
Mm.
So I will be visiting Amazon.com, and I think I'm going to call it here, looking at the sales that were on and online and that. I would wait for like a week or two before Christmas. We're probably going to get better deals because the guys have got stock. I don't think it flew out the doors. and then they're going to get to that Christmas, pre-Christmas rush. We'll probably see some good deals.
Isn't Boxing Day like the next?
Yeah, Boxing Day.
Crazy
In
thing?
fact, even before I moved here, I've had a lot of Aussie friends and I've got family in that, and they all say that everyone used to give gift cards for Christmas so that you have the act of opening like something, so you don't like get there and go, I got nothing, and then everyone goes shopping the next day to buy what they want. I wasn't blown away by Boxing Day last year either. I'll be honest. I didn't see anything that was wow. So let's see. Maybe the retailers will get it right this year, and 10 days, 12 days before Christmas, bang. Yeah, we'll see. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Nice.
That's pretty much all I've got on news. Tech news with a Z.
Yeah, I've got other news.
Tell me.
I think I will save one. It sort of crosses over into XR, so I'll save it. It's interesting.
Okay, it's a wrap. Boom.
Nah.
Thanks for listening to our latest episode of The Technology Show. Remember, for more episodes, hop onto eaglewavesradio.com.au, follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Catch you next time.